Alrighty, what's up, guys? So, today we're gonna be playing Hogwarts Legacy. I've tried to play a little bit of it earlier, but the game kind of crashed halfway through, so I figured, nah, screw it, I'll just start over. So I've done that. So, what we're gonna do in this stream is we're gonna go through the Wizarding World section of Hogwarts Legacy. So we're going to go through kind of the Wizarding World quizzes to kind of set up the character. Because I think, if I understand correctly, the Wizarding World does link to Hogwarts Legacy. And I think it does offer some... I know it offers some items, but I think it also goes through and does placements for you and all of that fun stuff. So again, I do want to say that I have some slight qualms with this. At what stage do you actually get sorted into your house before you actually pick your wand? These two options should be flipped around. But yeah. And yeah, let's go. But we'll do it however they have it. So, dawn or dusk? I am not a morning person at all. As evidenced by the stream, starting at 8:30 at night. Yeah. So, anyway, let's see. You enter an enchanted garden. What would you What would you be most curious to examine first? Okay, you enter an enchanted garden. What would you most... Why can I not speak tonight? You enter an enchanted garden. What would you be most curious to examine first? Let's see. The fat red toadstool that appears to be talking to each other. Interesting. Babbling pool in the depths of which something luminous is swirling. A silver-leafed tree bearing golden apples. Or the statue of an old wizard that is with a strangely twinkling eye. Let's see. Strangely twinkling eye. Well, they're just going to be there talking, so I can come back for them. Probably the statue of the old wizard. If I enter an enchanted garden, I'm probably going to want to examine the thing that doesn't look like it belongs first, to figure out why it's here. Let's see. If you're attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take? All right, I have some inherent issues with the other pets. So the owl actually seems like it serves a purpose within the story because the owl brings everyone their mail. But what is the actual purpose of the bringing like a cat or a toad to class with you? Like, aside from the companionship, which yes I get, but the owl actually just seems like it has a utility for being. Also, if you read the books, toad is not an option. I don't know why Neville thinks it's okay to bring a toad to school, but toad is not one of the options children are given to as a pet that they could bring with them. So that's a thing. I think it's like an owl, cat, rats, or something else. But very specifically, I don't believe toad is actually on that list at all. A couple other things. Like, this is just kind of a sidetrack, and I'll do this a bit. But as far as cats go, am I the only person that actually, like, when going through the books, hates Hermione? Like, I don't understand why they choose to be friends with her, especially in, like, book 3. Like, okay, so in the movies, all you see is Hermione gets a cat, and then her and Ron fight over the fact that she has a cat. Cool, that's fine. She got a cat, and cats don't like rats. Cool, whatever. That's not what happens in the book. In the book, Ron has to take his rat to a Care of Magical Creatures pet shop or whatever because his rat looks like it's dying because it looks like it's dying because it's Peter Pettigrew and he always looks like he's dying. In the middle of him going there, like it's kind of discovered like, okay, this rat just doesn't have any magical properties other than the fact that it's immortal apparently because it's lived longer than any common garden rat has ever even dared to dream. But in the process of that, Ron is attacked by this flat-faced orange tabby named Crookshanks in the attempts to get at the rat. So Ron is attacked, scratched up, and this, that, and other because this cat is trying to kill his pet. As cats do, that's fine. But in response to that, Hermione is just like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to buy him. Like, you're not friends with that. Like, if there's something that attacks me and my pet, and one of my friends decides, oh, I'm going to buy that thing because it attacked you and your pet, which may not have been her train of thought, but that's what it looks like. Like, me and that person are not friends anymore because you specifically bought something that attacked me. Like, no, you go away with you. That's it. Like, I like cats, but that moment should very much solidify them not being friends anymore. Like, ever. But anyway, like, I'm going to pick the utility choice here, though. Just because, I know the school, like, has its own owls, but it feels weird that the owls actually have a utility where the only thing Trevor's ever done is got lost and Crookshanks is just an asshole. Like, you don't know, like, there's a reason that he's an asshole, but you don't know that until the end. And it's just like, oh, hey, I'm going to buy this cat because it's an asshole. But yeah, the owl actually has a utility. So, owl. Which owl, though? Let's see. So we have the barn owl, the 20 owl. 20 owl, is that the... I think that's the one that Ron gets. That's what Ron gets from Sirius, if I remember correctly. Snowy owl, yeah. Screech owl and a barn owl. Oh, it's kind of funny that like Harry has the most rare owl in the entire everything. Like no one else has ever had a snowy owl. Which is okay. The barn owl looks majestic. I'll take the barn owl. Alrighty. Anyway, let's see. So a muggle confronts you and says that they are sure you're a witch or wizard. What do? Ask them what makes them think so. Tell them that you're worried about their mental health and offer to call a doctor. Agree and ask whether they'd like a free sample or just a jinx. Or agree and walk away, leaving them to wonder whether you are bluffing. I mean, there's a decree prohibiting... Yeah, okay. Probably just ask them what makes them think so. Yeah. Which of the following do you find most difficult to deal with? Burp. Loneliness, boredom, hunger, being ignored, or the cold. No, I actually quite like the cold. Let's see. Loneliness? No. I'm kind of just alone. Boredom. I play games. hunger requires money. So, or being ignored. Being ignored and loneliness just kind of go hand in hand, so hunger. Alrighty. After you have died, what would you most like people to do when they hear your name? Ask for more stories about your adventures. Miss you but smile. Think with admiration of your achievements. I don't care what people think of me after I'm dead. It's what they think of me when I'm alive that counts. Probably. Let's see. Everything like that because you're just an arrogant twat. Probably this one. Think with admiration of you and your achievements. If you could have any power, which would you choose? The power to read minds, occlumency. The power to change the past, illegal. The power of invisibility. The power to speak to animals. Power of superhuman strength. The power to change your appearance at will. Honestly, power to read minds seems powerful. It makes things a lot easier, I would think. Actually, there's an interesting question here. If you could read someone's mind, would you understand what they were saying? So, the core of that question is, do people even think the same? And it kind of comes to that question of, like, if I see the color blue and you see the color blue, are they the same color? You can't experience someone else's perception, so you can't really answer that question, but it kind of leads to that. Like, if I could read your mind, would I be able to comprehend what you're thinking? And obviously this statement kind of comes with the innate ability of, yes, I can comprehend that, but just like on a very top-down level, let's say that like I could read the raw output of what you are thinking. Does it even remotely make sense? Be very interesting. Invisibility is also very good. Let's see. Superhuman strength. I mean, a lot of these are just, hey, money. Let's see. I don't see how you ever use this ability and not just use it for evil. Like, this is one of those abilities that, like, it inherently is just used for evil purposes or not very great things. Like, sure, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. But the girl that ends up with Remus, she has that ability, but she doesn't ever really use it to any good effect that isn't just getting herself out of trouble or sneaking into a place. So it's just like, okay. It's one of the things, like, this is not a very easy ability to use for good. Not that that is what the question is asking, but, you know. Speak to animals, again, has that same connotation. I think that's actually kind of a quote from something. If you could understand what a lion was saying, you wouldn't understand what it was on about. Let's see. Although I think the power to speak to animals this implies the ability of, like, bestowing the creature consciousness. Because otherwise it's just like, if you speak to animals, the only thing they're saying are food, sex, sex, food, 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 sex. And then occasionally sleep. But that is kind of, at a core level, what evolution is boiled down to: survival and reproduction. I think it would that would just be all you would get out of animals unless you bestow them with some sort of sentience. But Power to Read Minds, it seems fun. Black or white? Well, let's see. Black always seems like a more interesting color. So probably black. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, black. Black's a more interesting color to do things with. Anyway, Sorting Hat is ready to make its decision. Continue. You are in Ravenclaw. Yes, I know. The Sorting Hat hath spoken. Fellow Ravenclaws. Really, his name's Phileas. I don't think I knew that. Phileas Flitwick, Luna Lovegood, and no. Yeah. If you're curious, his whole thing, the reason he was in Ravenclaw is not because he displayed intellect, though he was actually he was very good at memory charms. That is the one thing he was very good at, and actually even says here he's quite proficient with memory charms. Garbage with anything else, but very good at that. But it was for nefarious reasons. The reason he ended up in Ravenclaw was not because he displayed a high intellect. It's because the way that the houses work are not what you display, it's what you value. And I don't think we get enough of Flitwick's backstory to understand him being in Ravenclaw. But Luna Lovegood, the whole thing with the Quibbler is just finding information of things that people reject as reality, even though the whole premise, like, the idea that you would reject anything as reality in this world is lunacy. Hey, look. But yeah, makes sense for her to be in Ravenclaw. His whole thing is that he valued intellect. He wasn't good at it, but he valued it. But yeah, let's do the portrait before we do the wand. The portrait, you. Glasses, no. Mm-hmm. Why are all the noses red? They don't need to be red. Oh, whatever. Why is it showing Hufflepuff behind me? That's probably just one of the things later. Anyway. No, not that one. This one? No. Let's see. Building a character. That's a ponytails, aren't they? Yeah. That one works. You. None. Actually, I like that one. No. The whole spew thing. Jesus Christ. Like, I understand the points of it, but I don't think that Hermione did. Like, she approached that almost entirely the wrong way of trying to force house elves to want freedom. But now, if you look at that from a top-down view, it's Hermione pushing her own ideals on some other faction or race or whatever you want to call it, which she does quite a lot. And they don't want it. They really don't. Like, I get it, but there's a very big disconnect between that and other relevant things on the same level. I kind of like the staff. What do these do? It's just terrible. Why would you? Nah, I like the staff. The staff looks cool. That. I like the throne. Background. Probably that one. Okay, that looks good. Save and exit. There we go. Nah, we're not going to share anything. Alrighty, so we'll do the Patronus last. Yeah, do this in the completely wrong order. No, we'll do the wand. Find your wand. You don't describe yourself. I'm 6'2", average. Eyes are blue. What day were you born on? Even. Let's see. You always pride yourself on your intelligence. Traveling alone down a deserted road, you reach a crossroad. You continue. I don't like beaches. What do you fear most? Fear most? Only 2 of these can actually hurt you. I don't have an innate fear of fire, though. I think of these, like, small spaces, darkness, and isolation, I could give... I couldn't... the words. I could words one day. Yeah, I couldn't care at all. My house is tiny, and I live alone in darkness. I don't care. Fire, sure, it can hurt you, but just don't be dumb. I mean, of all these, height, I guess. I don't do great on ladders. Alright, and a chest of magical artifacts. Which would you choose? The silver dagger, the ornate mirror. Well, we know what the mirror does. Glittering jewels, a bound scroll. Golden key, a dusty bottle. Probably the bound scroll. The dagger's a packed weapon, so no. The ornate mirror, okay. This is a cursed item. This is where OJ hid the other glove. The dusty bottle, just an empty dusty bottle, okay. I guess you could get a genie out of it, maybe. Golden key, I don't know what it goes to. Bound scroll. It's the only one that has much interest. And Elder Wood with Unicorn. 10 3/4 inches. Unyielding and flexible. If I remember correctly, Elder Wood is very fickle. Anyway, The rarest wood wand of all. The why can I not speak? The rarest wand wood of all, and reputed? Okay. Reputed to be deeply unlucky. Yeah. The Elder Wand is trickier to master than any other and contains powerful magics, but scorn to remain with any owner who is not the superior in his or her company. It takes a remarkable wizard to keep the Elder Wand for any length of time. The old superstitions, the Wand of Elder never prospers. It has a bias in I can't words. The old superstition, Wand of the Elder never prospers, has its bias in the fear of the wand, but in fact the superstition is baseless, and those foolish wand makers who refuse to work with Elder do so more because they doubt they will be able to sell the product more than fear of working with the wood. The truth is that only a highly unusual person will find their perfect match in Elder. And on the rare occasion that such a pairing occurs, I take it as certain that that witch or wizard in question is marked out for a special destiny. As additional fact, I have unearthed during my long years in studies that the owner of the Elder Wand almost always feels powerful affinity with those chosen by Rowan. Okay, the Unicorn Core. Unicorn hair is generally produced by the most consistent. Unicorn hair generally produces the most consistent magic, at least subject to fluctuations and blockages. The wand of the Unicorn Core generally most. I don't know why I can't read. I've never been good at it. It's my greatest fear is reading. Wands with Unicorn Core are generally the most difficult to turn to the dark arts. They are most faithful of all wands and usually remain to be strongly attached to their first owner. That's an interesting combination then. Irrespective of whether he or she has accomplished irrespective of whether he or she was an accomplished witch or wizard. Minor disadvantages of unicorn hair are that they do not make the most powerful wands, although the wand wood may compensate, and that they are prone to melancholy if seriously mishandled, meaning that the hair may die and may need to be replaced. Yeah, I think that was the issue with Ron's original wand, is that it was a hand-me-down wand that had a unicorn core. So the wand just at no point ever respected Ron because he was not the original owner, and it was an old wand. So he had a core that was akin to just a broom handle. That was his wand. It was a stick. And then it turned into a broken stick. But yeah. Anyway, following the notes in the wand length, flexibility are taken from the notes subject by Mr. Garnick Ollivander, the wand maker. Garrick Ollivander, yeah. Most wands will be in the range between 9 and 14 inches, while I have sold extremely short wands, 8 inches and unders, and very long wands, over 15 inches. These are exceptionally rare. In the latter case, a physical particularity, demands excessive wand length. However, abnormally short wands usually select those whose characters something is lacking rather than because they are physically undersized. Many small witches or wizards are chosen by longer wands. Unyielding and flexible. Let's see. The wand's flexibility or rigidity denotes a degree of adaptability, willingness to change possessed by the wand and the owner pair, although, again, the factors ought not be considered separately from the wand, wood, and core and length. nor the owner of the life, experience, or style of magic, all of which combine to make the wand the wand in question unique. Okay, so Elder Wood with Unicorn Core, 10 3/4 inches. Okay. Alrighty, the last thing here is the Patronus. Patronus is a kind of positive force, a projection of the very thing that Dementors feed upon: hope, happiness, and the desire to survive. Remus Lupin. Which I don't personally remember him ever saying that, but I've also, it's been a while since I've read that book. Discover your Patronus. You can only discover your Patronus once. The questions are timed, so go with your instinct. Relax and think of your happiest memory. Serve, protect, or seek. Seek. Sweet. For sweet over salty. Think, sense, or feel. Think. What was that? I saw a hint of a tail, or was it a wing? It looked like a doe. Or a deer. Forever or sometimes. Forever. Your Patronus is almost here. Listen, watch, or touch. Listen. I can make it sparkles. Click and drag and release your Patronus. A Rottweiler. Well, that's unfortunate. Nah, it's alright. I'm just not a dog person, but that's okay. Alrighty. The Patronus turned. It was centering back towards Harry across the still surface of water. It wasn't a horse. It wasn't a unicorn either. It was a stag, shining bright as the moon above. Alrighty. Anyway, there we go. Alrighty, so we have that all created. So let's go to the game.